Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another edition of The Democratic View. I'm the hostess, and my name is Phyllis Italiano, and I have with me today two very lovely young women. Their names are Angela Quintero and Marizita Guichay, and they are members of a new committee that has been formed in East Hampton called the Latino Advisory Committee. And we're going to find out all about this committee, which began through the leadership of Diana Walker and working with our supervisor, Larry Cantwell. So we're going to start with you, Angela, since you're sitting on the farthest end, and you're going to tell us about where you were born and raised and some of your background, so we get to know a little bit about you.
Okay, thank you. Oh, I was born in Colombia. I've been here 3 years. Oh, I am MBA. I was a professor the last 5 years in Colombia. I spent my time in the academia. I was a professor for universities. I have a academic coordination in one of them. And
were you working in business administration? Is that what you were teaching?
Yes, because I was a director 15 years in many companies in my country and in Venezuela too.
Oh, really?
Yes.
And why did you come here?
Why?
Yeah.
Because I fell in love.
Oh, you fell in love with what?
With my husband.
And he was here?
Yes.
Oh, I don't know. I thought you fell in love with East Hampton because I fell in love with East Hampton.
But now I fell in love in East Hampton because it's so beautiful.
I know.
I'm so happy here.
Well, that's my job in life. My job is to save East Hampton. To make sure it doesn't become Nassau County. And so next to you we have a gal who is going to tell us a little bit more about her, and she's somebody that is well known in our area because she went to school here. So tell us all about you. Where were you born?
I was born in Ecuador, so I am Ecuadorian. I moved here in '99, and I was 12 years old when I moved here. So I joined the East Hampton School District. I went to the middle school, the last year of middle school, and graduated from East Hampton High School. So
now, did you speak English when you came here?
No, not a word of English.
Not a word of English. That must be very difficult.
It was shocking.
I can imagine, because I know if I go to a foreign country and they're speaking another language and I'm trying to communicate, it's very hard. Especially
Absolutely.
when you're lost and you don't know where you want to go.
Yeah, it was hard. It was, it was a cultural shock, absolutely.
Yes.
But then eventually, I integrated. I became part of the school, and I met friends. I met people. I grew up here now.
Yes. And did you go past? Did you get any schooling past?
Of course, I went to Stony Brook University. I graduated.
Wonderful school.
Yeah. And right now, I'm in the process of going back. I want to finish my MBA.
Aha, your MBA. Wonderful.
Yes.
So I have two business ladies here.
Yes.
Yes.
We are.
And we do a lot together, absolutely.
That's great.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about the committee that you're a part of, the Latino Advisory Committee.
Okay. I met Diana last year, and I met her through Zachary Cohen. It's funny because I met Zachary Cohen because of Ned, the African American that was recently found that is over 100 years old.
Oh, yes, yes, I interviewed him here on about Ned.
Yep.
Yeah.
I met him through Ned, and he introduced me to Diana, and Diana said to me, listen, I'm doing she was doing...
A group called Young Leaders.
Young Leaders.
Yes,
and
I'm a part of that group too.
Yes. I went to one of her meetings, but then we started talking about, what about the Latino community? There's a lot of people here that are never part of anything. And so we started talking about it, and she met with the supervisor. The supervisor said, yes, you know what? I think we can start something, and there's value to it. And that's how it all started. We met a couple of times with the supervisor, and then I started recruiting people. I invited her to come.
Angela.
Angela.
To join the committee, yes.
To join the committee, and we met with a supervisor, and the supervisor said, well, we need more people. We need more people to join this group and make sure that it's able to function. So we went out to the community, and we approached different leaders within the community, people that are homeowners that are from different parts of the town also. We went to Springs, we have from East Hampton, we have people from Amagansett, so it's well-rounded in that sense. We also have people that have children in the East Hampton High School or East Hampton School District.
Wonderful, wonderful, yes. Well, you know, it's very true what you say, is that we do know that we have a large proportion of people here living in East Hampton who come from other countries.
Yes.
And they sort of are on the sidelines of what's going on instead of being part of what's going on. Yes. And so that's really what you guys are working on. As a matter of fact, I know you have been to some of our committee meetings, because that's where I have met you, at the Democratic Committee meetings.
Absolutely. And after I met with Diane is when I started doing these things, when I joined, because I was also not part of it. I never really saw the value in it or wanted, you know, maybe it was my own fault. I never wanted to go in or find out more about it. But now it's actually me wanting to find out what's going on within town that affects all of us.
Of course.
And we, including, it's the Latino community. We're all affected by all the laws, all the regulations. And not only that, there's a lot of laws that protect us, and that we need to know all of these. No one really knows what goes on in town. It's all speculations. We are not informed, and we need to get that information through.
That's right, and that's one of the things you started with, where we have a new law on the books called the rental registry,
Yes.
which is to protect something that's very important in American culture, which is single-family residences.
Exactly.
And that can sometimes be a little foreign to other cultures where multiple people live in a house. But here, we really want very much for people to have a single family living in a house. And the rental registry is part of that whole big picture of how houses are used in our community. So you guys had a meeting with the Latino community where you translated into Spanish the rental registry.
Yes.
Yes.
How was it attended, and how was it?
We had over 80 people that came over. We had a full house. Every single chair of the town board was filled. Everyone had questions. The questions were answered. People were very content. They were very informed. They didn't know how the law was going to affect them. And after these, they were more in the clear of what was going on and how it protected them also.
Great, great. And so now you also are going to do something more in the same situation. Can you tell us about that? Angela, you want to say?
Yes, we are planning a meeting the next 15th April to affordable housing, about affordable housing. So it's very, very important the Latino community involved in the whole community. It's very important to know about the norms, about the law, about the opportunities, about how the town can help to
integrate?
Yes, and have to how I say, mejorar la calidad de vida, mejorar.
It's to better our lives.
Yeah, that's
Yes,
exactly what
yes,
I knew you were trying to
It's
say.
very important. Yes, I am learning English. I am comfortable.
Well, you're only here
It's
3
very,
years.
it's very hard to me speaking
It's a hard
English
language.
because I am learning.
Yeah.
But I am so happy to be here. I am so happy to you invite us. You invite us
Well, that's
because
my
it's a big opportunity
Yes.
to stay in the homes, to, how I say, entrar en los hogares, and
To enter.
to enter in the homes, and the whole community knows about us, about the Latin American culture, about that government supports everybody.
Well, that's true. That's
true.
That's the role of government in
Yes.
in a democracy. In a
Yes.
democracy, the
Yes.
government's job is really to take care of the needs of the people
The
in all ways.
All people,
Yeah.
all,
Very, very.
without exceptions.
And so now, are you able to find some classes in English so that you can, because it is a difficult language. There are so many, as I was
Ways.
explaining to you before we started,
Yeah.
so many ways in which the language has meaning.
Yes.
I mentioned Grand Slam, and Marizita mentioned break a leg. I mean, these are sayings that are used all the time. So it's very difficult to make the transition. Plus, it's not a language that is as regulated as Spanish, Italian, French are. They have a much more systematic way of. English is not like that. English is sort of all over the place,
There are a lot of places where you can learn English, and it's also, that's one of our goals also, to make sure that we become a platform to inform the community, where they can find all of these programs out there that already exist for them. In one of our meetings, one of our members said, well, we need to make sure that we have English classes or ESL classes. And we said, well, but there are a lot of classes out here that are offered, but maybe the community doesn't have the information. And we need to make sure that all our information passes through to them, because all of these programs exist for them, not just for the mainstream community, but for everyone. They are available here. And I was saying to you just now that I came to this first workshop that LTV offered, and it was amazing. It was very informational. And at least 5 of the Latino community came with me because they were very interested, and we didn't know these programs existed. But it's also how we give out the information, and we need to have all of that.
Well, you're absolutely right, because LTV, it's called Local Access Television. That's what it stands for. And that's what it does. It works with people getting the information about what's going on in the community. That's what it's all about. There are 2 channels, 20 and 22.
Right.
You're going to be on 20. 22 is with all of the government things that go on. But being a part of that, and one of the things LTV does want to do is to help with this whole situation we're talking about, which is the integration and the betterment of the community of Latino people who are here. Absolutely. And who need to be integrated, so that they not only are feeling comfortable, but that they will be aware of what's going on. What are the rules? What are the laws? How do we live in this country? Every country is quite different.
Exactly.
I mean, information is power, and the more information you have, you make better decisions. So.
Oh, honey, where did you learn that? Knowledge is power.
Absolutely.
Boy, if that isn't true.
It is.
I'm going to thank your social studies teacher for teaching you that, because that's true.
Yes.
And when you know what's going on, you are much better able to work in your environment. I was going to say manipulate your environment too, because it helps you to know, well, if I want to get a GED, for instance, you know what a GED is, when you're not graduating from high school, but you want to get a certificate that says you are graduated from high school. You work on that, and then you can go to college. I have a friend of mine, Noemi Sanchez, who we were talking about, who has become a woman of great stature in this community. And I know it's one of the things that wants to work on so that she can better her life.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
You know, of course, I'll miss her because she works with me. She's great.
Absolutely. And there's a lot of opportunity here that we need to take advantage of.
That's right.
Yes.
Taking advantage of the opportunities
Yes.
is very important. So,
And we are risk takers, you know, but that's why we come here. We leave everything behind and we come here and we start all over.
you know, that's true. I never really thought of it that way. You leave everything behind.
Yeah.
Did you ever go back to Ecuador?
I visited twice, maybe 3 times. Yeah. I mean, when we arrived here, we started school, and then summer is always the part where you work. Your parents work all the time, so we never really had the opportunity after I graduated, so I went back.
And what part of Ecuador are you from?
I'm from Cuenca. It's the most beautiful city.
Well, I don't know. I haven't been to Ecuador. I've been to Brazil and Argentina.
Oh, okay.
Of course, Mexico many times, but not to Ecuador.
Ecuador is a beautiful country, absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to put it on my list.
Definitely.
And Colombia
Take you
too.
anytime.
So what are you looking forward to your next adventure here in the island? What are you going to do next?
With the Latino Advisory Committee, we want to make sure that we put out a lot of information for the community that affects them in every way. So right now we're working, as Angela said, in the affordable housing. After that, we certainly want to work in communication with the police department. We want to make sure that we're all informed about the rules, the regulations that exist now, and how to proceed when something happens, to make sure that we all have the information that is necessary for us.
Yeah, I mean, the information like how to get a valid driver's license.
Yes.
You need to have that. And also, one of the things although it's very difficult right now in the political situation, but one of the things you want to try to help people is the path to citizenship.
Absolutely.
That is the key.
Yes.
You know, that is what you really, hopefully, can strive for. But you're a citizen, aren't you?
I am.
Yes.
Yes.
Are you a citizen because you're here that long?
I'm naturalized here, yes.
You're a naturalized citizen.
Yes.
So is my grandmother, a naturalized citizen from Italy, naturally.
Oh, okay.
So, and you, Angela, you going to be working for citizenship?
Yes, I am resident now, and I am getting my citizenship in maybe 2 years.
Wonderful.
Yes, I applied for that.
You know what citizenship allows? You know what it allows you to do?
Yes.
Vote.
Yes.
Vote is
Yes.
the key to life.
And is the most important right.
That's right. That's right. It is the most important right. Gee, you brought tears to my eyes saying that, because it's true.
Yes.
There are people here in this country who don't vote and give up that precious,
It's terrible.
precious right
Yes.
Yeah.
that
Yes, it
people
is.
really work very hard to be able to get to.
In my country, we are forced to vote. You have to vote. If you don't vote, you can fine. You get fined.
Really? Well, there has been talk about that. By the way, you called it my country. This is your country now.
Yeah. My original country. That's what I meant, absolutely.
Yes.
Your old country, as
My old
opposed to your new country.
Yes, because here are our home, our lives, our projects.
Right.
Yes.
Wonderful. Gosh, ladies, you really are very inspiring. You know, I'm sure you must be making people out there more aware of what they have to do to be able to be protected as well. You know, knowing what's going on is a way of protecting yourself as well, so that you are not going to be taken advantage, by anybody.
Absolutely.
Now, do you work on computers as well, ladies? Yes?
Yes.
In English or in Spanish?
Both.
In both.
Sure.
I can hardly do one language. I can do English. As
I am studying to get my license in real estate. It's so hard. It's so hard.
She just showed me the book.
But I am so brave. I want to get my license.
Well, my dear girl, if you have a degree, a master's degree in business administration, even if it's from another place, I'm sure you're going to be able to do it. I mean, my money is going to be on you.
Yes, it's very hard for the language, but I understand, and I have a very great and wonderful teacher. His name is John Angelo Viteriti, and he is a senior, but he's amazing. He's very, very hard. He pushed to do the best.
Where did you get him from? How did you get him to be your teacher?
How?
Yeah.
It's in Southampton. Oh,
She's taking a class.
I am taking a class in
in
Southampton.
Southampton College?
No, it's in a real estate school.
In a real estate school in Southampton?
Yes, in
At the
Southampton.
library?
No.
Okay.
I can say the name.
Sure.
Oh, it's Cookmaron.
Cookmarin.
Cookmaron.
There used to be a Cookmarin here in East Hampton. That's where I bought my house
Yes.
from. As a matter of fact.
All of them are the best. I think so. I think that.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yes.
You know, we also, one of the members of your committee is a guy who is a social worker, a bilingual social worker up at East Hampton High School, Mr. Hornet. And he has been really an amazing person as far as helping people who come to this country to be able to do things with their lives. And he's part of your committee as well.
Yes.
And he has certainly helped a lot in the Latino community when it comes to the schooling, when it comes to making sure that the parents know what goes on in the school and with the kids, just with the kids, you know, helping to integrate the kids into the system. He has helped a lot in that sense.
You know, I mentioned to you ladies that I was in a bilingual school in Yonkers Public Schools. And when we had a child whose parents did not speak English at all, and that child was the translator between
Wow.
school and the parent, we called that child as being parentified.
Oh.
That child became the parent, and the parent became the child because they did not understand. And we used to have, in our school, we had
And
English classes for parents.
And that still happens a lot still.
Yes, I'm sure it's very common
very
that the parents get the information through the child, and it may not always be the right thing because we know kids. I mean, I know kids.
There was a funny commercial in Spanish about that.
Yes, yes. I mean, kids are kids no matter what.
Yeah.
And if they're in trouble, they're going to tell their parents one thing
I'm doing
when,
great.
when the school is really saying something else, you know.
Yeah.
But so that's why it's very important.
Very
and one of the things I would recommend to you to improve your language, and particularly you, Angela, because
Yes.
you're only here 3 years. This
Yes.
lady is a little
No,
bit
my
different,
God,
you know.
she speaks so perfect. I think so.
One of the things you might want to try, I think that helps, which I have heard from other people, is that to listen to television and radio
Music.
in English,
Yes.
you know, and not in Spanish. It's comfortable in Spanish, but it's in order to learn, because it takes about, according to the studies, it takes about 6 years to go from one language to another. And it's not easy.
No.
You know, it's a lot of,
It's not.
there's a word called nuances, the nuances of the English language. Oy, 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 oy.
I have a great teacher, English teacher. Her name is Pat, and she is amazing.
That's
She is very helpful.
I used to have an ESL teacher who was from Puerto Rico, and she used to say, we got to get him out of the kitchen, and the only way to get him out of the kitchen is to teach him English.
That is true.
She's right, you know, in the long run.
Absolutely.
She was quite right. You know, the better jobs, you know, No, it's good to have some, some a second language in there, but English is it.
Absolutely.
And we have to make sure our children learn that so that they can go on and do good things like you. Look at you, what you're doing. You're leading a whole community, and that's great.
And I feel very content about it. I'm helping out my community. I've always wanted to do that.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. Instead of getting business administration, you get social work.
Funny you say that. When I first started college, I was going to social work, and I changed.
Well, social work is very important because that's where you really, the word social means working with people, and that's very important. So it's something for you to continue to think about since you're going back to get a master's degree. Am I correct?
Yes, I am.
And you certainly were at one of the best schools in the United States, believe it or not, Stony Brook. It's an excellent school.
Yes, it did do a lot for me, absolutely.
Well, ladies, I wish you lots of good luck. Come back again
Thank
and
you so
tell
much.
us
Thank you
all
so much.
about what you're doing. Ah, Columbia, emeralds.
Yes.
The jewelry.
That's my
Favorite?
favorite stone. It's my birthstone.
Beautiful
Oh.
stone.
I love it. Yeah. And I know they come from Columbia.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll take this up again later on when you've been doing more things, okay?
Thank you very much for inviting us.
Oh,
Yes.
it was my
Thank
pleasure.
you so much.
It was my pleasure, believe me. I am very much in favor of what you guys are doing, and we can thank Larry Cantwell for
Yes.
having the vision
Absolutely. He was
Absolutely.
very-
how important this kind of thing
Very
is.
important.
We want people to be living here, working here, and doing the right thing and taking advantage of our wonderful country,
Absolutely.
in the right way, of course.
Of course.
Oh, yes.
Okay, I think we're over.